Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is iTalk here, and in today's video we have a brand new video. So we're talking about creative again today. Now I made a few videos already talking about creative. My last one was talking about how creative isn't really creative anymore, and I was really talking about how the Spy Within LTM was really just kind of weird to me. I really did not enjoy it that much. If you want to know my full thoughts on what I thought about creative before, you could definitely check out that video. I've also talked about their plans with creative and everything like that. Like, I've talked about creative on the channel before, but today is probably the best news you could have ever wanted in terms of creative news. And all of this comes from the Fortnite Creative Discord. Now, I'm going to read you some tweets from someone by the name of Fortnite Creative News and Leaks over on Twitter. And here's what they had to say. So the first thing they say here, and this is all from the 14th of January. I'm sorry, I'm just getting to this now, but I definitely need to make a video talking about this because it is very interesting. They say here, an official cooldown is now in place for featured content. You can now only be featured once every 3 weeks. Cooldown does not apply if creator is engaged with Fortnite team or one of its trusted partners and their work is featured to support an event. Right off the bat right there, I think that's excellent. I don't think it's fair for people to be able to be featured more than once at the exact same time. I think that was suppressing other people's maps. And honestly, I think this is a great change already. We just got started with the video and this is already a huge change, and I think it's for the better. They also say here, creators are now limited to having one game as a data chosen top and highest growing in the hub at a time. Games featured in the top growing section will have a 2-week cooldown because they can be featured again. Maps featured by Epic will not be eligible for top growing until 2 weeks after featuring. Once again, this is another insanely good update. As I've said before, if Fortnite decides to feature you, you're most likely going to reach the highest growing because you already got the feature. And for people to have like the #1 most growing, it was kind of annoying for me because people see the fastest growing map or the top played map and they're just going to keep playing that map because why else would they play any other one if they aren't as popular? It just makes no sense. So this is also an extremely good change in my opinion. They say here also, all currently accepted maps will be rejected as a part of a backlog refresh. This is to help the new submission process more in depth as to why, and I'll read this for you guys. They say here, as it currently stands, there is a backlog of approved content that has been awaiting scheduling. We've made the difficult decision to clear out the overflow of awaiting approval islands and apps that have been in the system for too long. That being said, all creators are welcome to resubmit any content that was awaiting scheduling. We will ensure that we prioritize reviewing these games in the new process. We know that there is great content in our backlog and we hate to dismiss it, but it's important for us to do this now so we can focus on the newly refined and structured process. Managing the current backlog and new process at the same time has been a definite challenge for our team. We apologize to everyone for not communicating more of this up front and hope these regular updates will help us stay more in touch. I think this is a great change. Now, I had a map on the backlog for I think over 3 months and it got rejected because of this whole backlog refresh. And I'm kind of happy that they did that because now I know that when I resubmit a map, I know it's going to be seen besides it just being in the background for months and me not knowing is it even going to get featured. And they've even said that they apologize for not communicating, and this is great communication. Just talking with us and giving us this information right now is excellent communication on Fortnite's part. So I'm very, very happy about that. They also say here the matchmaking device and its settings should now be available to everyone. And they say here, starting tonight, all creators will have access to the matchmaking device and settings. This is the first time we're introducing this tool to all creators, so we'll be keeping a close eye on server performance and stability following the update. Once again, this is fantastic. The fact that I can actually make my own map to have all of my matchmaking maps on it, I think that's an excellent idea. Super happy that they're actually doing this. They also say here, Epic is establishing a strict timeline to review your content. You will hear back from your submission within 6 weeks and know if your map was scheduled or rejected. Each creator may only have one map submitted and waiting in the queue. You may submit once you hear back from your current submission. So what they're saying here is that you can only submit one map at a time And then if it gets featured or if it gets rejected, then you can submit another one. I think once again, this is a pretty good change as well. Creative also held a Q&A for about 45 minutes, and thankfully this Twitter account actually kind of summarized some of the good Q&A here. They say here, creators may submit another map once they have been accepted or rejected. They do not have to wait for their map to be featured. Maps that are already scheduled for feature will not be rejected. Stats that determine what is top played and top growing. Top played is total hours played by players who enter via a matchmaking portal, and top growing is growth in total hours by players who enter via a matchmaking portal. They say here, testing Thursday has changed back to feedback Friday and will be every other week. And they say here as well, Epic are aware that players in the matchmaking rooms can be low. And in the future, Epic are going to try to select hubs that allow matchmaking rooms to be more visible. Epic are still evaluating, and for everyone to expect continued changes soon. And then finally, he posts all the information regarding the new featured content rules, saying that Epic are working towards more communication and transparency with the community, and that the queue will be cleared this weekend. I got an email saying that my map was rejected, so I know that they're currently rejecting older maps. So they say here, new featured content rules. They say the Welcome Hub, which was previously known as the Featured Hub, is the main social space you explore when loading into Creative. There's now the Creator Hub, which are additional hubs that live within the main Welcome Hub. These are built by community creators that have chosen their own selection of matchmaking games. Creator hubs must have these settings, and then they go over the settings. I know I'm kind of outdating the video here, but currently in the hub right now is Mall Mayhem. If you guys have seen that trailer, which I'm sure you've seen because it was my YouTube channel trailer for so long, it's actually now accessible through Creative. There's some hoops you got to go through, but I'm showing you on screen on how you get to it. And I'm very grateful for Dumb Blonde for featuring my map in her own hub. I did not ask her to do that. She did that because she thought the map was really good. So I'm very grateful for that. It's not featured, but it's in a creator hub, which means people can still access it, and I'm very grateful that it's even here. So again, just extremely grateful for Dumb Blonde for doing that. That was very nice of her to do that. They say here, featured island portals are Epic chosen games featured on the Welcome Hub. Only you and the players in your current session can join these games. There's an official cooldown now in place for featured content. As a creator, your content can only be featured once every 3 weeks. The cooldown period begins the first day you're featured. So if you're featured on January 14th, you're eligible to be featured again as soon as February 4th. But there is the caveat to the rule. If a creator is engaged with the Fortnite team or one of its trusted partners and their work is featured to support an event tied to one of those parties, the cooldown does not apply because they've made maps like the NVIDIA graphic card maps, and they've done other things as well. So I understand it from that point of view there. And then matchmaking portals are portals that matchmake you and your party with other players. There's the Pick of the Week, which is a matchmaking portal with Epic chosen games. Then there's the Top and Growth Games, which is matchmaking portals with a data chosen game. Maps will be identified through their matchmaking engagement and growth. Creators are limited to having one game as a data chosen Top and Growth game in a hub at a time, even if they have multiple high performing games. Games that are featured in the growth category will have a 2-week cooldown before they can be featured again in growth. Games that are chosen by Epic are ineligible for featuring in top growth in the 2 weeks after featuring. So again, guys, this is all good news. In my opinion, everything that they mention here is good news, unless maybe you're a creator that gets a lot of featured maps. I could see some of them being a little bit upset by this, but I think this is what makes it the most fair. So I'm very grateful that they're actually listening to us and they're being very transparent. Again, just very, very grateful for everything. I wanted to stress this really badly in the beginning of the video, but I'm just going to mention it here. I am on your side. If you are a creator, if you're a player of Creative, I am on your side. I want Creative to be the best it can be and to be the most fair. I am not some guy that wants Creative to fail, because that is not even close to how I want it. I want it to be the best it can be, and this is really good news. There's not one lick of bad news here. And I'm very happy that they're acknowledging that there's too many maps. In the hub at the moment, I think it's still the same for me right now. There's over 101 matchmaking portals and feature portals combined, and that's way too many for a hub. I think they need to slim that down, but they've already acknowledged that there is sometimes too many maps and some maps just don't get played. because they're buried in portals and stuff like that. So again, huge update for creative. I wanted to talk about it with you guys because I think you guys should know about it, and I'm very happy to see where creative goes from here. Guys, that is it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know with the like and comment down below what are your thoughts on what I talked about today. If you would like to use me for support a creator, my code is ITF. Have a good one, everyone. See ya.